So I finished my 12-week coaching program with John and Greg at VPT, and before I actually started, I had just finished my PT qualification, and I was in a situation where I could go down the usual route that most PTs go down, which is to go to a corporate gym, kind of just literally get thrown into it, and it is literally ready, steady, go, off you go, you're on your own now. That's what most people do, that's what most of my colleagues who I trained with did, and it's definitely what was encouraged of me. So I did have that option, I did go for a few interviews, but I just wasn't confident enough, really. I didn't feel like a 6-week PT training program was enough to then go in and actually train people, because you know, you can train yourself, and I know my own fitness levels and what I can do, but actually putting that to someone else and giving those or my skills to clients can actually be quite dangerous if you're not really up to scratch on everything. You don't know what you're going to do, and I didn't have the confidence to really go into that. And I think the industry as a whole has a really bad reputation because people do just go into it and just think, well, I'm being told to go down this route, I'll just go and see what happens, and write shabby programs, and actually clients don't get results, or you know, they're not happy, and actually it kind of gives everybody a bad name in the PT world. So that was my situation. I wanted to do something else. I wanted to get more training. I wanted to be kind of on the job work though as well, so I'm actually learning while I'm working, and that's when VPT came up, and it's absolutely spot on to what I was looking for. In terms of like being coached, I think I was a bit worried that if you get trained specifically with a few people, they obviously have their own skills but also their own way of training, and so I was worried that I might be kind of cornered a little bit and be told kind of, this is what you've got to do, this is the only way that works, go and do it, don't even look outside of, you know, this expertise or this skill set. That was a bit of a reservation. Similarly, kind of actually just being given clients and kind of again being told either to just run with them and saying, yeah, it's a coaching program, but really actually it's just kind of an easy way for people to get assistance, I guess. Or the other side, to actually have people writing the programs just saying, this is the program, go and train those people, that's what you've got to do, and actually not really learning myself. I think I was a bit nervous about that, wasn't really sure how it would be. It's not been like that at all. It's been the complete opposite actually. It's literally been me free to do whatever I want to do, but having the guidance and just being nudged into the right directions when I've needed it, but also at the same time being told, that's brilliant, you don't need to change it, and actually getting your confidence up in that way. And in terms of training, as I said, just doing something wrong or not really giving clients what they need, or writing programs that didn't really get results, and I was really nervous about that, but at the same time, again, it's not been like that at all.
Okay, and so what have you experienced since doing the coaching program?
A lot, to be honest. I started kind of doing an 8-week training program. So John trained me in that program, so I guess he was like my PT and was kind of helping me with techniques and showing me other variations if somebody had injuries or knee problems or whatever, ways I could do that, and that was really good actually. That firstly made me realise how much I did actually know. I think when you start something you're like, oh my gosh, I'm right from the start, I don't know anything, I'm just going to be completely like a newbie, but actually when I started training I was a bit surprised with myself of how much you do know, and you just need that confidence and probably some people just to say, you know, absolutely, this is what you're doing it right, but kind of pushing you a little bit more. So training side's been brilliant, like the programming as well. I've been thrown into the deep end just writing programs left, right and centre, whether it's for clients wanting to lose weight, clients that want to strengthen some joints or clients that kind of want to do it online and actually doing online programs. Literally everyone and anyone I've been writing programs for, it feels like. So that's been a massive learning curve as well. And I've also learned a lot of kind of marketing as well, kind of done loads of videos, I've written blogs, and I've really pushed myself out there, put myself out there that I never ever would have done ever without mentoring. I kind of knew that that's what you've got to do, and you've got to kind of put yourself on, or you've got to make yourself kind of be seen as the expert in the industry and the go-to person. So I knew that that's what I had to do, but I never would have done it unless I was actually forced to. And when I was forced to, I actually realised that it's not that bad. And again, you know a lot more than you think. And when the camera's on you, you can just talk. When you know what you're talking about, you can, it comes out, it really does. Just turn that camera on and go. That is the biggest fear, I think, to be honest, when you're doing something like this, when you're on your own. It is up to you to get the clients, and it's not only getting them through the door, making them aware that you're even there, but then when they are through the door, keeping them, because they've got the freedom to just, you know, leave when they decide to, if they don't enjoy it. So that was definitely a massive well, that was one of the biggest reasons, to be honest, I came on board with VPT, because I was so nervous about not being able to get clients, and it is hard, like it's really hard. And I've done, you know, when leads have come, and I've spoken to people who are kind of on the fence of whether they even want to start training, or, you know, what they're doing, and just even speaking to them, you've almost done the difficult bit by them even applying or approaching you. Then actually talking to them and trying to get them into the gym is a whole new ball game, and it is really difficult. But I think I've been given so much advice on that and so much support with that, to actually know what to say, know how to firstly get people aware that you're there. Then when they do want a bit of information, how you speak to them, how you approach them in that way. And then from there, how you get them into the gym to actually start the training. From there, how you keep them in the gym to carry on. And it's a huge learning curve, but to have that support and have the people who have the knowledge there to help you with that is completely invaluable. Like, it's probably the biggest thing and the best thing about being on this program, absolutely. My results since starting the training that I've been doing have been unbelievable. I can't even really say how much of a change in my body I've seen. I've not lost any weight. In fact, I've actually put on weight, but my whole body shape has changed. I've become so much leaner. I've got muscle toning, and I've always done exercise. You know, I've always been fit and active, but just the weights, tiny little tweaks that I wouldn't have even thought of doing before, tiny little moves, or kind of adding on weights or whatever it is. It has had such a huge effect on my physique, really, and my strength and my fitness levels. Like I said, I haven't even lost weight. Like, all the fat that I had, which wasn't a huge amount, but that's all turned to muscle and more, and that's been amazing, like, to see. And I've taken photos of the before and after, and it really is like quite shocking how much of a change you can see in that. Which obviously is brilliant, and I'm really happy with that. As a trainer, you're really the role model for your clients, and for them to firstly see you, you know, they want really, even if, I mean, I train guys, but they kind of see how you are as a person, how you're progressing. They think, well, I want that, you know, I want to be like that, I want to progress in that way. But at the same time, it's also about you knowing and understanding what training works, and to go from kind of doing a heck of a lot of cardio, if I'm honest, to actually stopping that, cutting right back, probably doing, you know, not even 2 cardio sessions a week, maybe, yeah, probably about 1 or 2, is a massive change. And yet the shift in like I've said, my physique has just completely changed. And so when people say to me, oh, I still want to do loads of cardio, I still need to do cardio, I know I can say, well, look, I've been there, I know what you mean, but you're wrong, and I can say that with absolute confidence because I know it's true. So I think it's hugely important as a personal trainer to actually train yourself and to kind of, I guess, practice what you preach really, and do it, you know, so that you can tell your clients what to do, but you're doing it at the same time. And I actually have that quite often where I give a client a program and I think, oh, that's great, I want to do that, and I do it the next day or later that day. I think I want to do that program because it actually, I know it's going to work and it's really good, and you know, that's obviously like quite fun as well, enjoyable to put things together like that. And also with my confidence, I mean, this program in itself anyway, over the last 12 weeks has just boosted my confidence massively, with from program writing to getting clients on board to blogging to videoing to everything as a package. I feel so much happier about doing things or writing programs, not thinking, oh my gosh, what am I writing about? And that probably again goes on to training in that way. While I'm writing, I think, oh, that's a great move, that really works, and that gives you a really good burn, and or you know, whatever it is and whatever a client's looking for, I can really put that on paper now. So it really has, it's given me so much confidence. I mean, you videoed me when I started this, and I was so enthusiastic about it all and really happy with what was going on, but I think I feel like I was so young and naive at that point, you know, how far I've come with this whole program, and it's crazy. It's scary actually how it's only been 12 weeks. It feels like it's been about 2 years. It would be to not be pulled in the direction of where everyone's going, and not really to get really kind of caught up in, I've got to get a job straight away, or I've got to go into the corporate world and I've got to do this, that and the other, because if you're not ready, then it will show. And if you're not as confident with what you're doing, you shouldn't really be jumping straight into just working and doing kind of, you know, trying to get clients on board, because you could actually kind of lose clients or get a bad name. You could be the kind of person who potentially could be an absolutely brilliant personal trainer, but just doesn't have the knowledge or still doesn't have that confidence to actually make it happen. So I would say, personally, I would say to come onto a coaching program and to kind of learn more and really study more. Don't just think, now I've got the qualification, brilliant, like I'm ready to work, because I've said this so many times, but kind of becoming a PT or training to be a PT is kind of like learning to pass your driving test. You know, at start, you learn to drive to pass that test. You don't actually learn how to drive on the roads really, and as soon as you pass, that's when you learn, you know, that's when you know what you're doing. And it's the same with becoming a PT, you know, the 6-week course, or it can even be a year, you're kind of learning what you need to learn to pass the exams, but actually you're not learning how to be a good PT and how to write those programs well and how to market yourself and all of those things. You learn that on the job. And so I think I would say to kind of have a look around and to really think about where your weaknesses are, where your strengths are, what you need to develop more, and go from there. Don't just jump straight into something, because I think it's 1 in 3 PTs, maybe more, fail in the first few months. And you know, if you're serious about this, then you've got to take a step back and make sure you're going down the right route. Don't just jump into something and then 3 months later think, oh, that was a waste, move on and do something else, because it's your career at the end of the day. Absolutely, there's literally no guesswork at all. It's all based on fact and results and what we've seen happen before. You know, what we've tried and tested this, and you guys have tried and tested all of this stuff, and so you know it works. And if you have a question, you've got someone at the end of the phone just to say, look, client said this, I'm not sure what I should advise, you know, what's the best way, or client's injured her knee, is what exercise is the best way to kind of help that and not, you know, so that she's not damaging it, or anything like that. That you can Google as much as you want, but really, you know, how trustworthy is it? There's so many opinions on there, whereas this is based on facts, hard facts, and it works. It really does.